Welcome. Greetings. It's early December. We just had a few 50 degrees days, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. But now the temperatures are finally starting to settle into their lows. 16 last night. I believe it's going to be in the teens again tonight. The high was only 34 for today. So I got in a little bit of work here at the garden before the ground freezes today. Before the ground freezes, and I got in the work today. Nothing too extreme, but this little pathway right here, this was garden space to plant, but I had to keep walking right here to access these two tunnels. So I just flipped the grass up, dug with a shovel out a little pathway, the dirt, flipped it onto this bed to build this up right here. Now this is a nice functional pathway. We'll go into these two pathways right here. As we keep walking down, right on this other side, I did a very similar thing. I had to keep walking right here, and this was garden space going that way. So I dug that out, or I didn't even really dig that out because it was just already pressed down. So I just laid mulch right on top of that. So now this will be kind of a more functional pathway. I'm giving up my bed space, but I don't know, it just seemed this wasn't really too much of a productive area of the garden anyway, I think, because it's more towards this north side back here. It just tends to get a little shaded out back here. So this is a pathway now, and this is the third low tunnel all buttoned up. Onions are coming the first week in January from Kentucky. Found a nice organic supply online, and this is 2 layers of cover. So these are the soil underneath this bed is 1,000 miles south, which would basically be in Georgia. So hopefully the soil in there stays thawed until January. I might have to dig this out from snow. And then gonna plant short day onions into this tunnel in the first week of January, and hopefully have full bulb sized onions by May, about the same time that down south starts to harvest their short day onions. So this would be a really exciting experiment. Able to look into the tunnels. We got some nice lettuce still growing in here. The mustard greens are cut back, ready to start regrowing when we get enough daylight in February. Also have some nice greens growing in here, some turnips, radish, and green garlic, which is just hardneck garlic, but you harvest it like a little green onion. It's really good fresh, raw, or you can cook it up a little bit. And I got a pathway around the entire outside perimeter now. So the grass will grow up, pathway, and then all production space. Not too much more that I could do. A lot of mulch has been laid, and I think the functionalities of the garden have been worked out very nicely. I just planted one last planting of garlic. I had some left, so I said, hey, why not? December planting of garlic. Let's try it. And yeah, I put this stick in between my trellis bar because this was weighing down a little bit. I didn't want to collapse. I think this will last the rest of the winter now. This is all planted. These 3 rows are all planted to soft neck garlic. The Jerusalem artichokes are going to be moved in the springtime to this grass row, and then from here to here will all be for potato production. I might do potatoes, corn in the middle, sweet potatoes, and then these Jerusalem artichokes will grow up on this back end. But I also might just do corn and potatoes and a pea or a bean, and then do sweet potatoes up towards the front on the south end, because they'll probably like the south end rather than the north. And then, yeah, along with the early onions, planning on having early new baby potatoes by May, pre-sprouted in February, planted in March, and harvesting by May. And then, along with planting the real potatoes or the storable potatoes in April, those won't be ready until July, August though. So really all I have to do now is keep these tunnels from caving in from snow, which I don't think should be too hard. This one I'm not worried about. These two, we got to keep an eye on those. And yeah, just a lot of production space for root crops and greens. And then the mounds out here all have garlic planted into them. And I'm thinking about just making this a whole big New England pie pumpkin patch. Got the elderberries healed in for the winter time. And I think that's it. So, One Love Wholeness, stay tuned for the spring season. We're ready to rock. It's going to be production like no other. One Love Wholeness, thank you for your support. Sorry about the barking dog.